Hey guys, so I'm back again, and this is the last video I'll be filming today, and that is another book review, and that is for Princess of the Midnight Ball by Jessica J. George. I have read a lot of books recently that I want to do book reviews on, so there's going to be a couple from me in the next couple of weeks and days even, but this book was actually so good and I loved it. Also guys, this is going to be a spoiler-free review. I am really going to try not to say anything that's a spoiler. I hope I don't, but seriously, this book was amazing, so yeah. Let's get into it. So this is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, which is a story I absolutely love. I read two 12 Dancing Princess retellings and both of them were great, but this is just one I wanted to do a book review for because the one I read before definitely conveyed the story. Absolutely, you knew what was happening, but with this book you had no idea what was happening for most of the book, and it messed with me. Because this book is so vague the whole entire time, so when you're reading it, even though you know the 12 Dancing Princesses story, you're still thinking, what is going on? What is happening? It was really interesting how it was written, and the two main characters, Rose and Galen, I loved the way that they, the characters, worked off each other. And I really loved how, their dialogue and the way the scenes were written together, and they really great main characters, I think, and all the sisters were great as well. I have no idea what any of their names are though, because there's 12 of them. I always forget all the names and I'm always like, which one is that? I always either remember the second, I always know the characters that are probably the eldest sisters, and then the youngest one, and then the rest I'm just like, what? But still, they're all named after flowers, the princesses, which I thought was pretty cool. The last one that I read, they were in alphabetical order, so the first one was Abbeyleec, the next one was Bramble, the next one was Clover, so it was ABC, but these are all flowers in the Queen's Garden, and the Queen's Garden was actually really cool in this book. It's amazing how many flowers she has. There's more than 12 flowers in her garden. What I really enjoyed about this book most though is it's more narrated by Galen, which is the male character of this book. He was a soldier in a war for 12 years and that ended. He joined the war when he was really young because of his family was, his father was a general. Galen learned to fight really young, and as the war was ending he had no more family left, so he went to his uncle and auntie to try and find a position with them, and they are the gardeners at the palace, and they're the ones that look after the Queen's Garden. And one thing I really loved about Galen though is he knits. That is a woman's skill, but it actually isn't really. Years ago in the war, men would be knitting scarves for themselves and socks for themselves, and actually it was more of a man's job, and women actually weren't allowed to do it at first, which I thought was really interesting. So it's cool that he knits, so if he's nervous he'll just get his knitting needles out and just start knitting. But I really liked him, and he was such an amazing character, and he's really protective as well, so I really enjoyed him. And Rose, who was the eldest princess, I loved her. She was just great, and she made this book so good, and she was really protective of her sisters, and with them having to dance every night until the morning, and they weren't allowed to stop even if they were tired, even if they were sick, and if they didn't make it, bad things would happen. It was just so interesting, this book. I really enjoyed it, and I think everyone should read it because it was just great. And just 12 Dancing Princesses is great. Though my favourite way to see the 12 Dancing Princess story is through the Barbie film, because that was a great film, but the original story is really good as well. But I seriously I loved this book actually. It was so good, and I think definitely everyone, all you, should read it. Definitely 5-star book. It's really good. But anyway guys, thanks for watching my review. I hope I haven't spoiled anything, but I've given you the prompts to want to read this story because it was great. But anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.